All right, we are live following Game 4 of the World Series. This one, the Toronto Blue Jays picked up. They pick up the victory. They win 6-2 over the Los Angeles Dodgers, tying up the series at 2 apiece. Mac, we got a best of 3 for the World Series. Those words don't even sound real coming out of my mouth. Like the fact that the Jays are here at this point, like especially with the George Springer news last night and today, and just like the amount of adversity that this team has been facing in this series alone. Forget the playoffs and forget this entire season as a whole. Man, does it feel like, I guess, awesome to be in this spot and to be talking after tying up this series.
Yeah, probably feels a little improbable, just based on the feeling I had this morning before I went to bed this morning and after I went to bed this morning, right?
Yeah.
Like after the game last night, you're not feeling too good. That's a heartbreaking loss they had last night, and don't need to get into the weeds too much about that, but certainly lingered over into today. Like you mentioned, George Springer not in the lineup today. You've now got some shortened hands in the bullpen. They were asked to do a lot of the carrying last night. And we'll get into the work they did tonight because it was a really, really good job by everyone on the Jays pitching staff. But yeah, I wasn't feeling comfortable. Like I was telling you just before we got on air. Almost when I sat on my couch, it felt like I was sitting in a dentist chair a little bit. I wasn't really comfortable, ready to watch Blue Jays baseball. Not after 18 innings earlier today, really. So yeah, the game got going. Shane Bieber started pitching really well. The big hit by Vladdy put them up out top, and the offense rallied. They did what they couldn't do last night and get some runs late in the game when they had the opportunity. They did that tonight and put the game away. Yeah, not feeling confident coming into tonight, but was confident kind of knowing that this team finds ways to win these ball games. They have all year, and they found a way tonight. They did it. It was a really good team effort, one of the best of the postseason, and it's a best of three, like you said, best of three for all the marbles here, and you're guaranteed to bring this series back to Toronto. This was just a magnificent, massive win for the team.
Yeah, it's frankly insane. Like the fact that the Jays picked up this game. Like if I was a betting man, which I dabble, but I don't do a whole lot of, I would have put the mortgage on the Dodgers tonight. Like just a demoralizing loss last night,
Yeah.
and like clearly that's wrong. And I don't even know why. Like at this point, I don't know that I should have put the mortgage on the Jays, because this is when the Jays do their best work. The Jays do their best work when you think they are down and out. Like this team, man. Like they won this game without George Springer, like the heart and soul of this team all season, right? Like I don't know how they did this. They scored 6 more runs. Like we're gonna get into the bullpen. I think Shane Bieber's performance was outstanding. He was phenomenal tonight. Um, and honestly, just another team win. I don't know what number win this is on the season. It's got to be like 100 and something at this point, right? Maybe 103, 104. Um, like just I feel like I've watched this game 103 or 104 times all season.
Yeah, getting contributions from everyone. That seventh inning again tonight, like that was another inning where up and down the lineup there throughout the inning, guys getting big hits, and we'll get into that. But two big things for me earlier in the game, like you said, how are we doing without George Springer? Shane Bieber won, right?
Yeah.
He gets the start today. It's one of the biggest starts you're going to get asked for in your career. Game 4 of the World Series, your team's down 2-1. There's things you can maybe talk about here or there about his start, but ultimately, 5 and a third innings, 4 hits against the Dodgers. 2 of them came in the 6th inning. Struck out Ohtani twice. Just a great game from him. Even when he was missing, his command was a little off tonight, but all his misses were out of the zone. He's pitching really well on the corners and at the knees. And just, yeah, given the magnitude of the game, Shane Bieber just an incredible job for the Toronto Blue Jays tonight. Exactly what they needed out of their starting pitcher. And I don't think we get a chance to talk about, the 7th inning or this game going forward if Bieber doesn't give him that start. He was kind of like what Scherzer had done last night, match the Dodgers starting pitching. And then tonight, the difference making was Toronto was able to get to the Dodgers bullpen.
Yeah, and they got to the bullpen in a big way in the 7th inning, and they did it all just with base hits, death by 1,000 cuts, the way we've seen them do it so many times this season. How nice was it to see Bo Bichette get? I know I'm jumping in the middle in a little bit here, but how nice is it to see Bo Bichette really put an exclamation point on that inning? 109.6 mile an hour line drive off the left center field, or just the left field fence, I guess, pulling it over the left fielder's head. So nice to see him contributing.
Like we've been, I mean, it's been only a couple of games, but haven't had the Bo Bichette moment in the playoffs. And that felt like, yeah, Bo Bichette's here in the postseason now. That was a big hit. Kind of helped pad the lead, which almost seemed like they needed in the ninth, unfortunately. But yeah, it was just great piece of hitting from Bo. He's looking better and better every game. I'm wondering, hoping maybe if Springer's out of the lineup, if Bo in the DH spot's just going to help him stay in the ball game, be able to play a complete game. And yeah, just a big at bat today. It was a BS curveball from Trinan, and he ripped it. And he was absolutely nailed over the head of Hernandez. Big hit for the Jays, and great to see Bo contributing to this team. Like Chris, I think, mentioned in the chat after game one, great to see Bo Bichette back in the Blue Jays lineup in the postseason. Tonight really felt like that was a big hit. It brings him back, and Toronto's going to need him in the series, especially if Springer's out. They're going to need some contributions.
Yeah, the George Springer conversation is going to be an interesting one, and I think we'll touch on that when we preview Game 5. But I think the easiest way to follow up the Bo conversation is with the Vlad conversation, because these two do it hand in hand. They've done it hand in hand their entire careers, their entire lives as professional baseball players. And how about Vladimir Guerrero Jr., man? Like, this team was down and out. Like, it would have been so easy for them to roll over last night. They played 18 innings. They played for 6.5 hours, and they lost. They went down 2-1 in the World Series. They're faced with 2 more games in LA, and that is a really hard place to play. Not that I've ever played there, but so I hear. That atmosphere is insane, like, on the TV. Like, I can't even imagine what it's like to be an opposing player there. And Vladdy, just another casual 2-for-4, mixed in a walk, on base 3 times. Don't forget about the homer, which really got the Jays started. Kind of allowed everyone to take a deep breath. They had looked horrendous at the plate until that point. And honestly, they looked horrendous again until after the 7th inning, or until, I guess, the 7th inning rolled around. But Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Getting the team up and rolling early on in this game, kind of getting them out from under that early 1-0 Dodgers lead, felt like a massive, massive moment. Kind of felt like, you know what? You guys have Shohei, we have Vlad. And obviously Vlad's not Shohei, but I think the formula for the Jays continuing to win games and getting 2 more of these wins and winning the World Series is if Vlad keeps doing Vlad.
Yeah, much as Bieber did it on the pitching side, Vlad carried the team with that home run for the first 6 innings tonight. And second to Schneider, Vlad got so much unfair criticism last night. Like, I heard a lot of people down on Vlad after the loss, not getting hits, blah blah blah. Like, he was 5 for 15 in the World Series coming into tonight. I don't know why we're letting one bad game out of a star player get us down. But regardless, Vlad does what he does. He stepped up tonight. This is a huge, like you said, pitcher batter matchup. One of the best in the game, Ohtani against Guerrero. And that's a matchup a pitcher's going to win. A good pitcher's going to win. Ohtani was tremendous tonight. Like, he was really, really good. It reminded me a little of Yamamoto, just the way he was controlling the game with his breaking pitches, and kind of pitched stronger as the game went along. So Vladdy, just a great swing, right? Not too many guys powering that pitch out of the park. Like, he knows he needs a big hit. He sees that pitch up in the zone, and he just put everything he had into it. And a huge home run. Exactly what Vladimir Guerrero means to this team, and why you need him producing. It was really good to see him pick up the slack for this team early. You need your star players to step up in the postseason, and Vlad continues to do it.
Vlad's been unreal, man. Just this entire postseason, just genuinely a generational postseason run, like the kind of thing we're going to be talking about for years. And like, I can't even imagine, like, it's going to go down in history if the Jays are able to pick up 2 more wins, which sounds like I keep coming back to that point, but I can't believe it's real. Like,
no, I know, me neither. It kind of feels weird talking about some of this stuff in that standpoint. Like, it doesn't feel real, but yeah, I mean, the other thing with the Vlad home run too, right? They're down 1-0, and being down early in the ball game, coming off last night, didn't feel very good. Vlad gets the home run, puts Toronto up on top, and then from there, big credit to Shane Bieber. He kept that lead throughout the ball game. He pitched, got in a little trouble before he got out of the ball game, but tremendous job by Fluharty picking him up. But Shane Bieber, just a tremendous start. Toronto is not tied in this series if they don't get the start they had from Shane Bieber. And looking back in hindsight, great decision to leave the game four start for Shane Bieber.
Yeah, absolutely. He looked unreal. Yeah, I think we kind of rushed through Bieber a little bit early on here. I think it's important that we get back and really, really give him his flowers and give him his standing ovation, his due, or whatever you want to call it. He was 5 1/3 tonight, gave up 4 hits, 1 earned, did walk 3, but struck out 3 as well. It was really interesting. He only had 5 whiffs, which is low. Obviously, Bieber's not a big stuff guy at this point. Like he's 92, 93-ish with the heater, and he's trying to keep you off balance with a couple breaking balls and a changeup. But he got Ks when it mattered because Shohei Ohtani went down to him twice.
Yeah. And like I thought he pitched like Freddie had a couple hits off him tonight, but he pitched the Dodgers top
Another Hall of
guys.
Famer, by the way. Like you're
Yeah,
gonna live with that.
yeah, exactly. Like these aren't easy assignments. I'll kind of touch on that when we talk about Fluharty coming up. But yeah, Shane Bieber. The thing that really impressed me is just complete competitiveness in every at bat he pitched tonight. And there were times when the command got a little away from him. Like you said, there was the 3 walks. He was getting behind in counts sometimes, but coming back, making good pitches, making good out pitches, not a ton of whiffs, but getting the outs, and just really important for Toronto. They needed to get some length out of their starter tonight. They needed at least 5 from him. Basically got 6, 5 1/3 from him, but just a great start. Like I said, I think starting game 4 when you're down 2-1 is about as tough as an assignment as you're going to get as a major league pitcher. So Shane Bieber come in to do this as a trade deadline acquisition, coming off an injury. Yeah, I thought that was his best start of the postseason for me.
For me, it's probably his best start as a Blue Jay.
Yeah,
Definitely obviously the most important, obviously, but just like an absolutely pivotal start. Really felt like the Jays might have, like clawed their way back in the series. My last thing on Bieber, I took this off Baseball Savant. Check out where the majority of his pitchers or his pitches were. The only red zone on this chart. Sorry for our podcast listeners who won't be able to see this. But I pulled up Shane Bieber's pitch location heat map on for tonight's game, and the only red location on it is down and away off the plate. Not even a strike, but down and away off the plate to a righty. Really, like just the way he was able to finish his breaking balls there all night. He had the backdoor like 2-seamer sinker kind of pitch all night there, and you can't get hurt down there. Even to lefties, like sometimes down and in, like that's kind of a hot zone for Shohei. But tonight, Bieber was just unreal, really hitting his spots and really did not make many mistakes.
no, and good misses, right? And there could be a tendency like Dodgers didn't have too many whiffs tonight. Well, they to me too, part of that was they were laying off of some really good breaking pitches too. So
Yep.
you might tend to, as a pitcher, want to start coming into the zone, challenging guys a bit more. Shane Bieber stuck to the game plan and just I thought pitched really, really well. And like I said, and that chart indicates, like when he was missing, they were good misses. Nothing was catching too much of the plate tonight. Guys made plays behind him. Just tremendous start. You can't ask for more out of your starting pitcher than what you got tonight.
Yeah. Do you want to do Fluharty now?
Yeah, sure. Because Fluharty comes in. I called him Bizarro Fisher because he came in and threw 4 straight strikes instead of 4 balls. But Fluharty last night, like we didn't get a whole lot to talk last night. But Fluharty came in. He gave up 2 hits in the 3 batters he faced at the top of the lineup. Otani and Freeman got him too. But I thought Fluharty pitched pretty good last night. I didn't think the results was indicative of how well he pitched. So I was really happy to see him get another opportunity tonight and come in and pitch really, really well. And yeah, like I said, come in, he pounded the zone. He got a first pitch out to the first batter, and then a 3-pitch strikeout. Great job, clean that inning up, and just those are the innings that we've seen can derail teams in the playoffs, whether it's been the Jays or not. When that starting pitching comes out of the game, how does that bullpen bridge into the next top half of the inning? So Fluharty did that as clean as he can, and I'm just big fan of Fluharty. He's really grown on me, and he's got some big outs in the postseason, and he's not scared against anyone. And I was really happy to see him get his moment tonight. And yeah, I mean, as clutch as anyone as anything, and that's great that he was able to pick up Bieber like that because he makes Bieber's line look a lot better as well.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you had such nice things to say about him and talked so well about it, because the only thing I put in my notes was, man, I love Fluharty, MILF. So yeah, thank you for picking me up there. No, he was unreal. Came in with two guys on, got the lefty, which is the big thing, like getting Muncy out. Muncy's a really good hitter, man. He's done it on the biggest stage. Like, we've seen a lot of Max Muncy in playoff baseball and World Series baseball in this decade. And Fluharty got him on one pitch, and then the three pitch strikeout to really kind of stomp out the fire. Really, really good stuff. Picked up Bieber. I was begging for Schneider to take out Bieber when he went to the mound ahead of the Teoscar Hernandez at bat. Yeah, like, I was like, John, don't give him a chance to stay in. Bieber didn't seem that animated. Obviously, he's not really an animated guy, right? Like, Bieber's not going to yell at Schneider like Scherzer is. But at the same time, I was like, he just gave up some pretty loud contact. Would like to see them go to the pen here. Obviously, didn't end up burning them, and too bad. But Teoscar Hernandez did get a hit, and then that forced him to go to Fluharty instead of Varland there. Obviously, not the end of the world, but just a pitching decision that could have got ugly, that I disagreed with in the moment, but hard to get too mad about it now.
Yeah, and that's tough. Like, you could almost see a bit of reluctance going to Varland tonight, which was a little bit of a surprise why they brought him out for the ninth to me. Like, um, yeah, like I think ideally heading into that inning, what John Schneider's thinking is, I'll give Bieber the three guys and then bring Fluharty in for Muncy if it gets there. So I
Yeah.
don't think at any point when John Schneider was going to the mound, I think it was kind of like the Scherzer thing we seen in the ALCS. I don't think he was going out there to at all like make a pitching change. I think he was just going out there to be maybe upfront with Shane Bieber, just say, hey man, this is your last batter. Sometimes that means more when it comes from the manager, and that's kind of the relationship it seems like John Schneider's developed with some of these guys, especially some of the newcomers, the conversations he's had with Max and whatever the conversation was he had with Bieber tonight. So I think he was just kind of going out there for a little pep talk. Unfortunately, Teoscar got on, and then the plan was to go to Fluharty there. I'm like you though. I mean, if you would have went to Varland there, I think Bieber was done after 5. But I think you also had to push him back out there for the 6. You really had to get as much juice as you could out of your starter tonight. I was fine with the leash and length that he gave him.
Oh yeah, Jays win 6-2. I'm not gonna complain about it or really lose a lick of sleep over it or ever think about that again past this conversation.
Well, I complained about Braden Fisher issuing a 4-pitch walk when they're up 9-1 the other night. So you go ahead.
Fair enough. All right, I think that's a good time to go to Bassett. Carly mentioned it earlier, and I think, like, we got to talk about it. He went 2 innings again tonight. Was like pretty much untouchable. Did give up like a soft serve single over the shortstop to Mookie Betts. Also a Hall of Famer. You're going to live with that sometimes. Obviously did not give up a run. Got 2 strikeouts. Didn't walk a guy. Chris Bassett, 2 innings tonight, kind of playing the Andrew Miller role. Man, oh man. Like, is he like sneaky, like one of the most important pieces of this bullpen now? Like, the trust tree is obviously expanded to include a 4th, and if you want to include Fluharty, maybe a 5th guy for John Schneider. Fluharty obviously more selective in pockets, but I think, like, right now, Chris Bassett comes in the game, and I trust him to work fast. I trust him to throw strikes, and I trust him to change up looks.
Yeah. I was next to Bieber. Bassett was the guy I was most impressed with and just happy for tonight. like they mentioned on the broadcast, he's never pitched back-to-backs in his major league career,
Yeah.
ever. So to be asked to do that in the World Series in the bullpen, a role he's rarely had in his career, and like you said, have confidence in him because overall, Chris Bassett's just a competitor, right? That's what you're getting when he's out on the mound, and just great work tonight for 2 innings. His breaking pitches were working really, really well. That curveball is just a beauty when it's working, and it was tonight.
Hmm.
Got some big outs, and you trust him in those situations. So this series is going to be going back to Toronto for Friday at least, and we're not going to see Chris Bassett tomorrow, but he's going to play a role. We'll see him again in this series, and a little surprised that maybe they didn't give him the ninth. It looked like he really wanted the ninth, and he was having that conversation with John Snyder, who decided to keep the Beef Wolski schedule going for Louis Varland, his like 14th game in 12 days.
Yeah, Louis Varland's a freaking machine, man. He's awesome. He gave up a run tonight, but he kind of slammed the door right after that. Yeah, but before we wrap up on Bassett, like he only threw 20 pitches tonight. I bet you he's available tomorrow. I'm not sure they're going to be eager to go to him, but like the way he's pitched, like you have to give him the opportunity, especially like if I don't know if they go to him. Well, I bet you they go to him if it's a situation like tonight. You kind of have a comfortable cushion like that 5-run lead. That's why they let him go 2 innings. If it's a 1-run lead, like you probably see uh, Dominguez, Varland, and Hoffman in 7, 8, 9. Instead, you got a little bit more of a cushion. That's why you see Bassett. So if it's another like 5-run cushion, like 4 or 5 plus lead for the Jays, you probably see Bassett. If it's like a 1 or 2 run deficit, you probably see Bassett. That's like they're gonna use them, man. Like you've got, like we said, it's a best of 3. Like you cannot leave your best pitchers in the bullpen. You just can't afford to do that. Like at this point, and if Bassett's good to pitch and says he's good to pitch, he's gonna pitch. And I have news for you about Chris Bassett. He's gonna say he's good to pitch.
Well, Chris Bassett will say he's good to pitch, sure, but you don't even ask Jeff Hoffman to pitch 3 straight games ever. Like this isn't a reliever. This is a starting pitcher that's pitching in a role for you. So I don't think the ask can be Chris Bassett pitch 3 straight games. As much as I like what he's doing, as good as he's pitching right now, I don't want to see him tomorrow night unless they really, really need to. Maybe a situation like what Hoffman was getting loose for in the ninth tonight. Maybe if you need an out or two from Bassett, but he's done great work these last 2 nights. Dominguez wasn't used tonight. Hoffman wasn't used tonight. They'll be good to go tomorrow. Lord knows we'll see Varland for sure. Um, if you don't need to use Bassett, I don't think he's going to be as effective tomorrow if he does pitch. I would just use him and have him good, ready. He's got 2 days off before game 6 and just have him fresh and ready to go out of the bullpen because he has been a weapon. He can come in, pitch that 8th inning if you need. He can pitch 7, 8. He can pitch 6, 7, whatever combination of innings. I think Chris Bassett, free agent at the end of the year, right? Like
He's
he's
making
going
himself
to be
some money
making.
right now.
Yeah, he's looking really attractive to some teams with pitching how he is in the World Series.
Yeah, Bassett in the postseason in 2025. So this season, 6 2/3, 8 strikeouts, 5 games, a 0 earned run average. He's got a 0.3 whip. Like he's been unreal, man. Like he's genuinely, aside from Jeff Hoffman, probably been your best, most effective reliever. 20 pitches and back-to-back days. Like I don't want to use him. Um, and I'm not advocating for them to be like spamming the Chris Bassett button as soon as we see Trey Savage run into a little bit of trouble tomorrow. But I bet you, yeah, it's going to be use it or lose it with Bassett, and he's kind of in lights out mode right now. Like he's kind of like in that mode where like he's blacked out and like he's gonna knock down the shot no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and you
I
know what? Like
trust him with my life right now.
I'll add to that. My favorite World Series run of the last 10 years was probably Washington's, just strictly for how they use their pitching to get their title because it was all hands on deck all the time. Scherzer was there, right? Like guys are
Mm-hmm.
coming in, starting, relieving. So I love that. The Jays are turning into a kind of a version of that here with what they did at the end of the Seattle series and such. So, hey, situation calls upon Chris Bassett tomorrow. He says he's ready to go. Prove me wrong. I'd love to be wrong. I hope he does well. I'm sure he will do well. I just don't think it's ideal. I would just keep him ready for game 6 with the arms you do have fresh for tomorrow.
I agree, and we can get off this conversation in a second. Your last point I'd want to make is like, who else do you trust? Like, I like the only guys I want to see pitch are Flu Hardy, and he's back to back days right now. Hoffman, who actually you saved tonight, although he did have to warm up. Varland, who did look a little bit vulnerable there, and Sir Anthony Dominguez, who obviously, well, he gave up the homer to Shohei, but what are you going to do? Like, those are the only guys I want to see pitch. Trey Savage gives you a short one. Um, like, I don't know, man. It's just like you're just not comfortable with anybody else right now. Like, the stage is just so big. The lights feel a little bit bright for a lot of these guys. Like I don't know. I don't want to. Like, I feel bad saying that, honestly, because like it's not how the Jays play. It's not how the Jays have done it all year, right? Like the Jays have done it by using everybody, and John's gonna trust his guys. But like just like for me watching and like my mental health and like who I trust personally and like feel comfortable with, Chris Bassett is up there with anybody else.
Yeah, it's not a trust issue for me. I think he's pitching as good as anybody in the bullpen. You could make the argument in case after tonight he is the best pitching guy down in that bullpen right now that's down there full time. So, yeah, if he's ready to go, you've kind of talked me into it. Sure, why not? But yeah, ideally, I think he's off the table for tomorrow, much like Lauer is off the table for tonight. Just you did your job. Next man up. Let somebody else do the work. And yeah, I mean, there is a lack of trust in some options, but it's just the reality of a major league bullpen, and it's just really, really magnified in the postseason when the margin between winning and losing is really, really tight. So, um, yeah, I mean, you'll find a way to 27 outs again tomorrow night. You have to find a way. You had to find a way tonight. They did. So you just have to have confidence that whoever's going to do the job tomorrow will.
Yeah, the pitching staff has genuinely been unreal between last night's game and this game. It's like 27 runs or 27 innings, 7 runs, something like that. Or yeah, I don't know, 8 runs. It doesn't even matter. But it's just been so good. Where do you want to go from here? Like Addison Barger cleaned up today, which I thought was curious. That's something that you wanted earlier in the playoffs. He's been
Yeah.
sneaky hot. Barger is I lost it. Barger's hitting. Let me tell you, just 327 in the playoffs with a 940 OPS. Like been really good. He was 2 for 5 tonight with an RBI single. A great piece of hitting to slap it through the 5-6 hole, get it past Betts, the shortstop. I've really enjoyed what I'm seeing from Addison Barger. He's hot at the right time.
He is. One of the things I was going to talk to you about at an ungodly time earlier this morning about last night's game was what do you do for game 4 without George Springer? And my thought before I went to bed was you move everyone up. And I didn't know if that's what John Schneider was going to do. There's been reluctance to move Vlad out of that third spot for a few reasons, but it was the right thing to do to put Lucas up to the leadoff spot and then move everyone else up. I would have thought Barger in the 2 hole would be something I would think too, except I don't want those back-to-back lefties. Nobody wants that at the top. So it was just good to move everyone up. I was glad to see Barger in the 4 spot, and I'm glad to see him have a big game. This is a guy that's going to need to continue to produce and contribute for the Jays. His bat is a difference maker in that lineup. To have that lefty stick when he's swinging it as well as he is. So just hope he's found his swing. He had some struggles earlier in the playoffs, but he's been playing really well since midway through the ALCS. Another great game today from him, and yeah, hopefully he gets another moment.
Yeah, if you're going to pick up 2 more wins, I think Addison Barger is going to have to play a role in both of those wins, especially if, like we've seen the last of George Springer for this series. Barger has been, like, honestly, just like a revelation this season. This is a guy that didn't make the opening day roster. We didn't really see till May. Started really cold, but he was smoking balls. They were giving him a chance. They gave him a long leash, and man, has it paid off. He's kind of arrived on the biggest stage. Huge swing tonight, as I mentioned, that RBI single in the 7th inning. Really put an exclamation point on that inning itself. Where else can we go from here? I think, I had one thing in top 8. Miles Straw came up with runners on, or with 2 on and 2 out in the leadoff spot. And this is, I'm sure, something we would have spent forever on last night. Did Schneider make the changes too early again?
No,
Obviously, this is a
not
little
tonight.
bit. No. Okay. Well, it didn't burn him tonight, so no. Obviously, this is a little bit
No,
situation than last night, just because they had already made a pinch hitting move in that spot, and then like so Lucas came out of the game for Ty France, and then you needed an outfielder, so it makes sense to get your best defensive outfielder in there instead of using Schneider for an inning and then letting him hit and then getting Straw in the game, I guess. Like, but it did feel like, oh man, this is a chance to really pile on here, and instead it was Miles Straw coming up.
I'm glad you brought this up because I do have a few things I want to add to this. Yeah, I thought it was the right move tonight. Right, it's a 3-1 game. You got the lefty in Banda, who's like the worst lefty on the Dodgers roster. I don't know why he's in the game, but I don't know the Dodgers bullpen, but that's why you have Ty France on the roster. That's why they put him on the roster to pinch hit in these situations. And he did a job. Ty France did a job. He put the ball in play, got the run. It's not how you draw it up or how you think the sack hit's going to go, but he brought the run in. So, yeah, I like how John Schneider deployed the bench that way, and you do bring Straw in as part of that equation. That being said, yes, bit of a rally killer in the eighth today. That was another chance to add on to some runs. We seen it bite them last night. I was fine with a lot of John Schneider's moves last night. I really, really was. But we were probably a little too quick on the hook with Addison Barger for Miles Straw. And Miles Straw came up a couple times last night, failed to get a hit, does so again tonight. I think we'll see Miles Straw in the starting lineup tomorrow with Blake Snell on the hill. I think we'll see that game, the same game one lineup. I think you put Miles Straw in that lineup and sub your guys in from there. From there, though, I don't know if I want to see Miles Straw again. Not in these late inning defensive situations again. Not for Addison Barger. Addison Barger is playing too well to be taken out of the game in the seventh or eighth for a base runner or for defensive play. He's playing fine defensively. He's not hurting you in right field. He runs the bases fine. You can't be burnt again by having his spot in the order taken up by Miles Straw. So Miles Straw, great year. I think he'll be in the lineup tomorrow, but I think we're kind of at the end of his usefulness in this series.
Interesting. Interesting. I think I'm actually going to disagree, just because I saw a clip the other day. I think it's the 2011 World Series where the Cardinals came back. The Texas Rangers were down to their final strike in Game 6 when David Freese hit a line drive in right field over the head of, I believe, was it Nelson Cruz playing right field for the Rangers in that game?
Yeah, for some reason,
And
yeah.
and that ball that David Freese hit over his head, if they had catch probability in those days, it was probably like a 90. Like if I saw that as a Blue Jays fan when Miles Straw was sitting on the bench, I don't think I could live with myself. So I think you have to get the best defense on the field, especially with a lead late in games. I think you got to. Like you
And put
just
him in the ninth
you
inning
have
then.
to
Put him
do
in
it.
for the final three outs. Like,
Yeah.
don't have this situation where he's coming up with runners on in the eighth inning where it can be a difference maker. It could have burned you tonight. It did
Yeah.
burn you a bit last night. Don't get bit by it again. And this is where John Schneider doesn't learn. You're probably going to be right. We're probably going to see Miles Straw deployed like he was all season. But
Yeah.
I just think you've got to kind of play the hand like you play your hands in the bullpen. Your bench guys, if they're not playing well, if you want to put Miles Straw in for those last three outs, sure. But if there's a chance that that order is still going to flip around one more time and it's a ball game where you feel like you're going to need runs, and against the Dodgers, I think any ball game is going to feel like you need runs. You need to keep Addison Barger in there until you know that he's done for the night at the plate.
Yeah. No, it's hard to disagree with that. Like any at bat you give Miles Straw when it could have been Addison Barger feels like just an absolute catastrophe. Like genuinely, like even like Nathan Lucas and Nathan Lucas, I think his praises are going to go far too unsung in this postseason.
Yeah.
He's quietly hit 309. Obviously, not much power there, but like a 749 OPS. He's just been on base in front of Vlad.
Two
All
hits in the
postseason.
leadoff spot tonight. Like,
Exactly.
great job. He gets on in front of Vlad's home run.
Yep.
And then he has another big hit there in the fifth to almost keep that inning going too. So Just great work again from Nathan Lucas tonight while you brought him up. Just another ask, right? You're asking a guy now to lead off in the World Series, and he did a great job.
Yeah, like through 6 innings, I texted my dad. I was like, I've seen 3 good swings tonight, and 2 of them were Nathan Lucas, and the other one was the Vlad home run. Obviously, the 7th inning rolled around, and things kind of got rolling for the Jays again. But like Nathan Lucas was kind of like the only guy that came to play, other than Vladimir Guerrero Jr. early in this game, and he's been fun to see. And like this is a guy that I think we're gonna be like, oh my God, Nathan Lucas was like a huge part of that team. Like just a guy that shows up every day. He's not like one of like the roommates or like the Buffalo Bisons guys. He's not like making funny jokes in the locker room. We're not seeing headlines and we're not seeing a lot about him on social media. But he's quietly been at the top of that order in the 2 hole, and then obviously tonight in the leadoff spot, and just done a job. Put together, for the most part, very very quality at bats this entire run, and frankly, like most of this season. Just an awesome player.
He is awesome. He's a ball player. He's a gamer. And yeah, 15 years, 20 years from now, he's going to be a hard one to explain to people what he meant to this team because I don't think his stat line or what he produces on black and white really translate to what he does, what he brings to this team. And he just seems like an A-plus guy too, just as much of these guys are, just makes them so much fun to root for. And yeah, hearing him talk to Pilar after game 7 of the ALCS there, just about how, he's had the conversation about retiring before he even got to the majors, and now he's in this spot. He looks at every time he steps in the box, he looks like he's appreciative and he knows what this moment's about, and he continues to step to it.
Yeah, he's been good, man. He doesn't do anything like that's the best part about Nathan Lucas to me. It's like there's not one thing where you're like that's what he does really really well. He does everything like kind of good. He's like a decent outfielder. He's like a league average outfielder. You'd think he'd be really good, but he's not. He's pretty good. Um, he like he puts the bat on the ball really well. I guess that's his defining trait. But does not hit the ball hard. Just like finds a way to get on base. Um, just yeah, I can't say enough about what Nathan Lucas has done and what he did tonight. Getting on in front of Vlad is exactly what he's there for, and he did a job. Carly wants to talk about tomorrow. To be honest, so do I. She says Schneider in the lineup tomorrow. Where does he fit in the order? That's an impossible question for me to ask. Like I genuinely have no idea what the lineup's going to look like. I bet you. Well, I can guarantee Schneider's going to be in the lineup tomorrow. I can say that very confidently, especially if George Springer is not going to be in the lineup tomorrow. That means Bo Bichette's probably going to DH again, which means IKF's going to have to play second. I'm just working through this in my brain. Probably means Clement at shortstop, Schneider in left. Are we going to see Barger against Snell or Nathan Lucas? You get one of Barger. You get 2 of Barger, Lucas, and Schneider, I guess.
I think it'll be Schneider and Straw is what I think it'll be. Manning Varsho.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's what it'll start, and then Barger's probably going to come in at some point for one of those 2 guys. I'm reluctant to say
I
this,
hate
but
that.
like,
Can I be
don't
honest? I
don't.
that I despise that.
Okay, then wait until what I'm about to say. I think Davis Schneider leads off.
Holy dude.
Yeah, like
Really?
who else is going to
No,
lead
they're
off?
probably. I bet you it's Clement.
Yeah, I could see Ernie too. Yeah, I could see Ernie. But do you want to mess with the bottom of the order? Like, I could see Davis Schneider leading off and Addison Barger coming into the game for him, and then Barger batting in that spot. I could, but you're right. It's probably Clement.
Yeah, that's insane. I think I'd rather have Nathan and Lucas and Addison Barger. I think are both better hitters against left-handed pitching than Straw, right? Like, would you agree
I
with that?
I part of me wants to keep Barger out against lefties because he seems like he's found a groove, and I just don't want Blake Snell to dice him up for a couple at bats and throw him off tomorrow. I think
Yeah,
your team can carry you through that Snell start. The important thing with Blake Snell tomorrow is going to be like game 1, knock him out of the ball game. Schneider and Straw are a couple guys that can dig in and give you some at bats, and bring your bench in like you have all year, and bring Barger in when those righties come into the game, when the Dodgers get in their bullpen, and I mean, it didn't even have to be a righty in game one. But yeah, I'm just a little reluctant to have Barger up against Snell just for that reason. Don't want to kind of throw him off. You could honestly do make the case for Lucas to start and lead off. He had 2 hits today. He's looked a little overmatched against lefties, but hey, like you said, it's a best of 3. You kind of got to ride your guys here now. Leadoff spot is probably not something we should just be throwing away tomorrow or given to, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, that's such a hard decision to make. Like it's tragic how different and how much worse the lineup looks without George Springer. I said it last night and I said it today. I doubt we see him again the rest of the series. Like the way he pulled himself so quickly. Um, yeah, I have a really, really hard time seeing that. Oh man, yeah, probably Clement, maybe Schneider. Maybe Schneider 2-hole. They did that. That's what they did the first time, like against Snell in game 1. It was Schneider in the 2-hole. Sandwich between Springer and Vlad though, which is like a lot different than sandwich between Clement and Vlad. Maybe like so. Addison Barger this year hit 217 against lefties. Miles Straw hit 271. So there's that. I don't know, man. I don't know. What did Nathan Lucas do?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see tomorrow. I game one went so well. I don't see why they wouldn't roll back the lineup that they can. Obviously, it won't be without Springer, which leaves a big spot in the leadoff spot. But if we're thinking they're just going to kind of shuffle guys up like they did tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Davis Schneider, followed by Vlad, followed by Bo, followed by Kirk batting fourth.
Yeah, no, I bet you that's what it's going to be. They're going to stack the righties big time. Second time seeing Snell, like I do feel encouraged by that. Nathan Lucas, 255 against lefties this year. So, not like obviously that's just average. Like that's without really digging into it. They all seem like kind of fine options. Not great, really. Don't feel awesome about any of them. Against Snell, and obviously we're not just talking about lefties in general. We're talking about Blake Snell. It's genuinely one of the best pitchers in baseball. It's going to be a tough task. Could you imagine George Springer is in the lineup tomorrow? Would you feel good about that, or would you be like, oh, he's playing through it? Like I think if I saw his name, like it'd be optimism for like a second, and then it would be immediately like, okay, but what does he have? Like, is he in there just to stand in the box or and be a name, or like is he actually going to be getting his A swing off?
Yeah, George Springer doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to go out there if he's not going to be able to be perform, right? Like much almost like Bo Bichette wasn't going to play unless he felt like he was ready. So like there's no benefit to putting George Springer out there tomorrow if he can't do anything. Like put the guys that are capable in there, and plus the DH spot means a lot to Bo Bichette right now too. If that means you can get a full game out of Bo Bichette, that's got to factor into it too. So yeah, I mean, I have no idea. I haven't really heard much about George Springer. Obviously, ideal if he is in the lineup tomorrow leading off. He's second to Vladdy for the importance in this lineup. Leaves a hole there. It left a hole tonight, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, the encouraging thing is it sounded like it was kind of a game time decision tonight. So one of those things overnight. Who knows how things are feeling in the morning? It's hard to say. I'm sure he'll be doing what he can to be out there. This is a huge game tomorrow night, Game 5, 2-2. I'm getting excited already.
I'm getting scared already, I think. I can solve our IKF problem. I can't solve our Miles Straw problem right now, but what if you play Bo Bichette at second and DH Ty France? I kind of don't hate that idea. I think Ty France gives you a professional at bat.
Yeah, he does. I just does Ty France being in the lineup outweigh having like being able to take Bo out of the field? And I don't have the answer to that question. I don't like Bo still seems like he's limbering around a little bit, right? Like that ball he hit off the wall today,
Yeah,
that was a long single.
could be a stand-up
Um
double. Yeah,
and you know, like he came out of game one there in the fifth, sixth inning, like maybe he can't play a full 9 innings out in the field. I don't know that. So if him DHing means you're going to get 4 at bats from him through 9 innings of play, then I think that's what you do. But yeah, I don't hate not having Ty France in the lineup either. He was another name that kind of came to mind there. It's just, yeah, he would have to DH, right? So, yeah, you could see we could see Bo DHing, we could see George DHing, we could see Ty France DHing tomorrow. It's going to be interesting waiting to see when that lineup card rolls out.
Our Blue Jays battle, man. This team has had no business winning this baseball game just based on the names that are in the lineup. That like they had no business going 18 innings last night. Just like they are clearly hanging on by a thread. We've heard about injuries on how many guys. Bo Bichette is playing on one knee. George Springer had to miss tonight. Obviously, they're missing Anthony Santander, like a guy who hit 44 home runs and was supposed to come in and like reshape this offense and provide that power punch. He played like what 2 series, like 2.5, like or one and a half. I mean, like missing him. Like the bullpen is just torn to shreds. Think about Ryan Burr, Nick Sandlin, Jimmy Garcia, and we're in a 2-2 series against the super team Los Angeles Dodgers, with who are lined up and down with Hall of Famers that have 4 aces. Like I cannot believe we're in the situation. The Jays have no business winning this series, but they had no business winning tonight. I said to my dad, I texted him also today. I text my dad a lot about the Jays. I said it's going to take a miracle. They got the first miracle tonight. They need 2 more, and they're going to be World Series champions if they can somehow pull this off.
Yeah, but like, need to give them credit. They won that baseball game tonight. Like, I didn't have much confidence coming off the 18 innings last night, but like they came and they won the baseball game tonight. Shane Bieber came and pitched the ball game. The offense withstood Ohtani. Another thing we haven't really talked a whole lot about is that they wore Ohtani out a little bit. They had a chance to run him out of the ball game in the 7th inning because of some of the at bats they had against him earlier in the ball game, running up the pitches a little bit. They knock him out in the 7th. So, yeah, just it was a complete team ball game tonight. I thought it was one of their best of their postseason. And all 4 of these games, even the 18 inning game that they lost, the game they lost in Toronto, all 4 of these games they've been right there with the Dodgers. All 4 of those games they could have won. So
Yep.
for Toronto, I've got a lot of confidence that this team's going to find a way to win. This was the most find a way to win night there was, and they did it tonight. And 2 more. It's the first to 2. It's like the College World Series right now, and I have a lot of confidence, especially coming off the way they won the game today.
Absolute insanity that we are in this position talking about what we are. Like just like if they find a way to win tomorrow, if the Jays find a way to win tomorrow, and you have 2 chances to win it at the Rogers Center in Toronto, like I don't even I can't even think about it. Like I'm genuinely like on the verge of tears. Like just like are you kidding me? Like
But
are you freaking kidding me that we're
yeah,
here right now? Like and I'm trying really hard to like enjoy it and not like think like logistically about it and be like, because genuinely I have no idea how they win 2 more games. You got a rookie pitcher tomorrow. He's going to be making his 5th start of the postseason. Or 4th? Yeah, 5th start of the postseason. He only made 3 regular season starts in his career. He's 22 years old. And he's pitching. He's starting tomorrow against Blake Snell, Cy Young winner. Like,
yeah, and who else would you want going up against him right now? Like, Gauze, obviously,
yeah,
but
I was going to say
he's not ready
Gosman,
to
but
go. And Yasevich is your second best arm. He's proven that. I'm excited to see him
yep.
tomorrow. It was a kind of a rougher start for him. Like he really gritted through it, did a job that he needed, but it wasn't a strong game 1 start. And neither was his first start in the Seattle series. And he rebounded and pitched really, really well second game against Seattle. So I'm curious to see what he does. It's going to be a different task for him on the road this time, pitching at Dodger Stadium, and a much different, a scary lineup that he faced in game 1. So, but who else? It doesn't matter who it is at this point. Like there's been a lot of guys. You mentioned injuries and stuff early. This is a war of attrition. We are on game 180, whatever it is now, 190, whatever, and you're 2 wins away from the World Series. The other team's 2 wins away from the World Series. You just go with the guys that are you still have standing. Trey Yasevich is as good as Toronto has, and just hope they get a good start out of him tomorrow. somewhere between Max in game 3 and Shane tonight, I think would be a real nice thing to get out of Trey Savage tomorrow.
Man, the stage does not get much bigger than Dodger Stadium in Game 5 in a 2-2 series in the World Series. Like, oh man, Trey Savage, man. Like, what do
Yeah,
you have for me, kid? Like,
I don't even want to know what this postseason run is carving out of his mentality, because the way he's been able to handle this postseason, the way he's been able to pitch in it up to this point, I can't imagine the rigors of the regular season are going to be too much to him next year or in seasons
he's gonna be
after.
bored, man.
This is
Like,
literally how legends can be made when you pitch and kind of drink from the fire hose during the playoffs. And big opportunity for him tomorrow. There's every start he's made the last 6, 7 starts, even going back to the regular season, is the biggest start of his career. And tomorrow he gets yet another biggest start of his career. And Jay's season not necessarily on the line tomorrow, but a huge game. It's a huge game in this series to go one win away from the World Series, and I'm really hoping we get a good start out of Trey.
okay, so like the formula is obviously he shows up with the splitter because in Game 1 he only threw 10 splitters. I think we talked about. Like
Yeah,
he
it was
just
low.
didn't have that pitch, right? So if he shows up with the splitter tomorrow, and obviously that's a big if, but like that's his feature pitch, man. Like that is what Trey Savage does is throw that filthy splitter. Obviously, the Dodgers are going to be off the traject machine tomorrow, so like I don't really know how that works. Like we hear like trajectory machine so often. What does that really mean? Like does it? I'm sure it actually helps. Like every team in baseball that has it hits way better at home. But apparently, Savage, like the look that he gives, that super high release point, makes it really hard on hitters who have not seen him before. Obviously, the Dodgers already saw him in this series, but my point is that they didn't really see the splitter. And if Trey Savage comes out really featuring that tomorrow and getting swing and miss on it and putting it where he wants, not missing up in the zone with it, like, man, we could be in for some like legendary stuff. And in the same breath, if he comes out without it, dude, it could get ugly so fast. It's impossible
It's
to say.
playoff baseball. It could
Yeah.
be anything over here to over here, right? It could be anything. I'm a little curious. Like, I don't remember game 2 all that well right now. It feels like it was weeks ago, but I don't remember Gosman throwing his splitter a whole lot either. So I wonder if there's something with this Dodgers lineup where we're shying away from it a little bit. But need to throw it tomorrow. You got to come with your best stuff, and this is what the World Series is best on best, and it's why I was okay with them pitching Ohtani in the 8th last night, because you've just got to pitch and get the guys out, and sometimes that requires you getting the best hitters out, and you've got to just bring your best stuff regardless of the matchup sometimes, and just win these ball games on your talent. And there's no other way to win these final 2 games. So just Trey needs to come with his best stuff and the stuff he's most confident in tomorrow, and throw that and hope for the best.
Yeah, and as much as Trey is going to be a key to tomorrow's game, it's going to be the offense as well. You're going to need another performance like tonight, if not better. Like you need to keep scoring runs. You need to find a way. I know it's really hard against the Dodgers, man, but you get into that bullpen. You don't make quick outs. You don't make easy outs. You put the ball in play, make stuff happen. Like they've done it all year, man. I trust them to do it, no matter who's in the lineup, whether it's George Springer in there or not. I trust them to do it. Okay, so like, oh man, just the thought of this tomorrow's game 5 is honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to sleep. I
I'll
came
be
into
fine.
tonight like genuinely expecting to be doing like a 3-1, like we're down post mortem. I kind of talked myself back into this team throughout this episode. Honestly, like I watched tonight's game, skeptical, man. Like just waiting. Like the Dodgers kind of felt inevitable, and it feels like you just took or you just gave them another really big punch, and they felt it, and they're not on the map, but like they're wobbling. And if you can somehow find a way to win tomorrow, man, and we've been doing this, please win tomorrow for like 10 minutes now, so we can get out of here. But man, please win tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just the last thing I want to touch on is just the whole tenor of the series has changed tonight now, right? Because I was the same
Yeah.
way. 21 hours ago, losing an 18 inning game feels like a gut punch, especially with you think all the pitching you wasted last night. I didn't think maybe we'd see Bassett again. We Lauer did such a good job that's not going to get looked at because the team lost the game. Even Little came in and pitched a pretty good inning before he gave up the home run. So there was a lot yesterday that felt like a missed opportunity when you lose that ball game. And when you sit down tonight, you're wondering, okay, how is Toronto going to find a way to win and get to 27 outs tonight? They found a way. They played a complete ball game, as I said, and now we're tied at 2 and not even thinking about that 18 inning game anymore. So just same thing tomorrow, like you said, need to get some hitting. The offense is going to be key. Get some runs early off that bullpen, and hopefully the pitching can pull it together as they did today.
Wow, man. I cannot believe that this is the live stream, the episode that we just had. Like I cannot believe it. I walked around all day with a frown on my face, like
Me too.
expecting a loss. And I was dumb for that, man, because this is when the Jays win. When you expect them to be down and out, finally, like this is the end. Like think about it
Well,
like at the end of the regular season. Like they needed to win 4 straight. They needed to win out. And you're like, you know what? There's no way they went out. Tampa Bay's coming to town. They won out. Okay, like I don't know how many times. Like they were down 2-0 to Seattle. They're down 3-2 to Seattle. To come back and win that series. Why not? Why not? This is like we've had team of destiny vibes all year. Um, Not to get too far ahead of ourselves, man. It's just one game at a time, one inning at a time, one pitch at a time, and it all starts again tomorrow. It's going to be Blake Snell, the Cy Young winner against the rookie. Well, next year's rookie, Trey Savage. Yeah, that's right. He's not rookie eligible until 2026. Insanity. Mac, you got anything else tonight?
Uh, yeah, I know we're running a little late. The only thing I wanted to touch on, we haven't touched on it yet, just Andre Jimenez, man. Huge at bat. I thought it was the
Oh,
at bat of the baseball game, getting that base hit. He's got down, great leave to work the count 2-2, fouled off pitch, and then getting the full count base hit. He's done that so many times this postseason. For every time he looks lost at the plate, he comes up with a very clutch hit, breaking that game open to 3-1, letting that inning continue. I thought that was the at bat of the ball game, and just
yeah.
great job by Andres Jimenez. That'd be my last thing.
Yeah, I was begging for David Schneider to come off the bench there against Bonda. Begging. I was like, you can let Ernie play short, let IKF play short. I knew they wouldn't do it, but I was like, just give me a good at bat. And to be honest, Jimenez gave you a pretty good at bat. It was an 8-pitch single, served it over the shortstop head. He swung at ball 4 twice, which whatever. You can hate the process, you can't hate the result because gave the Jays a 3-1 lead, and they never looked back. Awesome stuff, man. I don't want I don't want this episode to end. I don't want this stream to end because
I'm exhausted, man. I'm okay with it ending. Like
but then it means we have to
I
move on to tomorrow.
hey, it's got to move on at some point.
Yeah,
Honestly, like as fun as tonight was to watch, I won't even say it was all that fun. I was pretty stressed for most of it, but as good as much as you can kind of revel in this win, all that this has done is square the series up. It's best of 3 now. Series starts anew tomorrow, so why not just get on with it and hope for the best tomorrow? It's going to be a good game.
we will be hoping for the best tomorrow. We are going to be watching it through our hands. Thank you to
Oh yeah,
everybody who tuned in to Jay Center's live stream following Game 4 of the World Series. The Blue Jays come out on top, tie up the series at 2 apiece. They beat the Dodgers 6-2. Unreal baseball game. I'm Owen Hill. This has been Mac, and we will catch you guys hopefully after watching the Jays pick up another win tomorrow night and take a 3-2 lead in the World Series. Wow. Those words don't sound real. We'll talk to you guys then. Thanks for tuning in.